Well, good Monday morning. The weekend has come and gone, and little fanfare. We had no rain for the weekend. I think it did rain a little bit Friday evening, but wasn't much. But the weekend turned out fine and quite comfortable for this time of year, and this morning is really a gem. It's very comfortable. Temperature was down in the 60s when I went to bed shortly after midnight, and you can really feel that the dew points are down and the humidity is not what it was. So it's going to be another nice day. Sun's out brightly, so a nice day. And tomorrow, and it looks like Wednesday also should be pretty good before rain chances come back on Thursday into Friday. So that's how the week is going to go. No really hot weather coming this week. Kids are back to school today. My grandson, oldest one, grandchild, got on the bus this morning and went to school. Saw a picture of him in his school gear, and he's ready to go. Another grandchild will go to preschool tomorrow. So the season has begun, and I wish them success in their school year without any turmoils, troubles, and they learn a lot. So, but anyway, like I said, it's a nice day. I did get a few things done over the weekend. Still not into any projects at the house yet. Not quite that yet. It's getting closer. Today would probably be the best of the days if I was going to do something. But as I said, don't really want to start anything, and I will be heading out of town at the end of the week for a few days to help my son with his project, so we can get that over, and then I can concentrate on my own after Labor Day, which will come in 2 weeks. So, 'tis the season. I've noticed the sun angle's a little lower now. We're probably into late April sun now, as we are about a month from the fall sun and fall starting in September. I guess it's the fall equinox, and it will continue to decline. I see the sunsets are now at or just before 7:50 in the evening, so we'll be down at 7:30 here in September, and then go towards 7 o'clock during that month. So we'll see. Other than that, yesterday, we'll go to the sports. I'll start with the Orioles. They lost. They played well against Tampa Bay, but lost yesterday, and so they're back about 2.5 out, I guess, of the wild card. But I mean, there's 2 teams in the playoffs right now in the American League: the Houston Astros, and I'm not sure who the wild card team is now. The 6th team might have been Texas, but both of those teams are below 500. So as if the season stopped right now, there would be 2 teams in the American League playoffs without a winning record, and that is just that's just unbelievable. But you open it up like you do to more playoff teams. That's what you get, and you water the teams down so badly that you get all this parity, quote unquote, which they say is good for the sport. In some regards it is. I mean, you don't want the Dodgers and teams like that to win 20 World Series in a row. But it creates these situations. It does the same in football and basketball, where you have a team that's 500 or just below. I think there was a team, was it last year or the year before, last season or the season before, that finished below 500. Was it Carolina that was in the playoffs? And I think they almost won their the first game of the playoffs in the wild card round. So this is what you get. You get that probability, and even the chances of the lowest seed team winning the Super Bowl or the World Series or the Stanley Cup. I mean, you increase the chances of that happening, and that's what's happened in the sports. So you're not only the best of the best anymore when it comes to the playoffs. So sometimes that creates that problem. And then on the other side, the Phillies, that was an incredible game yesterday. I don't recall ever, I mean, I have to search my baseball database in my brain, but I don't recall a game that ended that way. You're down 4 runs, 2 outs. You have you have a runner on base, one of them, and you end up coming back and winning on a 2-run home run to win the game after you tied it up. And all this was with 2 outs, and you only had a leadoff double, 2 outs after that, and you did all that to win the game after that. That is just incredible to see, and it just proves the adage that you need 27 outs to win. Sometimes you have to go a little further because of extra innings. But the standard baseball game is 27 outs, not 26, not 25, 27. And the Cardinals failed to get the 27th out, and they lose the game. So that was just an incredible thing. I had given up on the game, actually. I mean, it was 4-0, 8th inning. I was moseying around. I happened to be walking by, and I'm like, oh, this is getting interesting. And then Schwarber does what he does and hits a mammoth home run. That is one for the legend. And, I mean, that's just incredible how that happened. So I just don't remember a game ending like that, with that kind of drama in that type of situation. I mean, I've seen some great games end, believe me, football and all the sports, basketball. Yesterday was a unique one for the ages. You don't see it very often like that. So it was incredible. Now they've won 9 in a row. They head out west. They had the long flight to Seattle after that game. I just felt that they were just giving the game away yesterday, even though they had their best pitcher on the mound. I mean, they didn't play Bohm, who has been hot all month. Reyes didn't play. They had Schwarber playing first base. That's dangerous. You're in a pennant race and you put your slugger at first base, who's played maybe 3 times all season in the field. Don't you increase the chances that he gets hurt on some fluke play or something? That's a very dangerous thing to do. So it just seemed like they were just going through the motions. You know, I asked my one son, I said, when was the last time they scored 10 or more runs, won that game, 10 runs or more, and then the next day won a game with 3 runs or more? Well, they did it yesterday. But it took them 26 outs and a miraculous ending to do that. But I can't recall that happening in a long time. So that was that made it more unique in my opinion. But they managed to win again, and their 9-game winning streak goes out west now. They're 2 games away from the Braves. They play the Braves when they come back Labor Day weekend for 4 games. So they've set themselves up nicely to move forward. But this is an important road trip. I feel they have to go probably at least 6-3 on this road trip. Still to give them a good chance. I mean, you know, a subpar road trip, 4-5 or something like that, might not hurt them entirely or take them out of it. However, it would be best to go 6-3 or 7-2 on the road trip, or better, keep the win streak going and really put the pressure on the Braves for that weekend in Philadelphia. So they have an opportunity here to do some damage and keep themselves in it. We'll see if that happens. The Orioles, well, they're done. They're under 500. And like I said, the way the American League is going, under 500 will get maybe 2 slots in the playoffs. But the Orioles don't have what it takes this year. They're barely hanging on at this point. So I don't look for them to move on. We're less than 2 weeks from Penn State football. Getting a little more excited. I've watched some more videos on the team and the coaching staff. I look forward to seeing how that first weekend goes with a new team, new coaching staff, new philosophies, not having any preconceived notions on how it's going to turn out. I hope they do well. I'm not going to start the Fire Campbell campaign the first weekend. You know, he gets a grace period as far as I'm concerned. So I'm hoping he takes advantage of it. I mean, if he finishes above 500, that's a successful season. And a lot of new coaches would take that. I know Penn State has higher standards than that. However, you know, you got to take what you got to live with it and build on it. So hopefully that's the case. They build on things and go forward. So let's not be so quick to lay the hammer on Campbell and the team. Give them a chance and see what happens. And they do have a favorable schedule. Well, whereas they don't play Indiana, Ohio State, or Oregon. So that's a plus, but they do have some tough games on that schedule with USC. They have to go to Washington. They play Wisconsin. They play Michigan. They're not easy games, regardless. So, you know, don't go, oh, he needs to win all of them. And no, that's totally unrealistic to happen. I hope they win 2 of those games. That'd be a success in my opinion. And then you win the rest of them, I'm hoping. But we'll see. So that's where that stands. Really didn't do much in the gaming department this weekend. I played a couple college football games. I did play a couple of my Jim Rice 1978 pocket pennant run baseball games. And Jim Rice was one of my favorite players back then. Even though he was a Red Sox, I didn't have too much trouble with the Red Sox. It was the Yankees I didn't like as an Oriole fan, but the Red Sox I didn't mind, and Jim Rice was one of my favorite players, and I'm picking a 78 season to play, so just the Red Sox games, and so we'll see how that goes with using pocket pen run, and maybe a couple of the other games I have I'll supplement in there too. But played a couple of those games, and a couple college football. I didn't necessarily just play Penn State. I played Florida State, and I have a test dynasty for Florida State right now in college football 27 just to get a handle. I did beat Alabama 0-2 to go into that game, and with my new playbook that combines Penn State, Iowa State, Alabama, and Indiana playbooks, my Florida State team did beat Alabama 20-14 at Alabama. So I was pretty impressed with that. Ran for over 200 yards. So my playbook is looking pretty good going forward, and I'm curious to see how it works with Penn State's team once I start that dynasty. But other than that, odds and ends will be done today. Probably some shopping tomorrow because I got to get dog food and some supplies, one or two things for the project at the end of the weekend. And then we just gear up and pack up later in the week and go. So let's see what happens. Like I said, the nice weather, take advantage of it. Ooh, there's a weird branch up in that tree up there, that pine tree. Did that get damaged in the wind at one point this summer? Did it get struck by lightning? I don't remember a lightning bolt that close, but I wasn't here the whole time. But that's kind of odd up there. It's no threat to anything. It's pretty far. Let me see. I think it's pretty far back in the woods there. It seems closer than it actually is, but something happened to the top of it. Probably a wind gust got it. So well, I'm going to take Naylor for his run and go from there. So say goodbye, Naylor. He's come back to get me. All right. So everybody be safe. Enjoy the day, and I'll talk to you next time.